Hello everyone, welcome to my new tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to cover several steps, several points. So, among them, first of all, we are going to cover how to debug an Android web or Android application, how to debug it from your Windows Chrome. Sometimes you may want to create some web applications, maybe augmented reality, whatever you want. You may want to see the log file why something is failing in your phone, because you will be programming and creating the application or the web from your computer. So basically it means it might not be compatible. So maybe it's running in your computer, but then when you run your phone it's not looking as you would like, or it's even not running at all. Okay, maybe you can't access the log files. So here we're going to cover how to access those log files, how to see exactly what the phone is. So you don't need to be all the time refreshing the phone, having it in your hand, and it's also much lighter than having a virtual Android device like you would be able to have with Android Studio or any other tools. But this solution is much simpler. That's one point. Then we have how to start a local server in Google Chrome and connect from the Android. We may not want to have a hosting, and maybe you want to make such a little changes that it's not worth to be uploading and changing the code all the time in your host server. So you may want to do it locally. And then we're going to show an example of how to debug a web application, a webAR, augmented reality application that I've made, and we're going to test it from our phone and we are going to debug it from our computer. So first of all, we will need to connect the Android device to your computer, and for that you need to enable USB debugging options, which you can easily find in internet, and also you will need Adb drivers. So for that, let's go to Google, then let's just open a new tab and type Adb Windows. So here we have already the first link. I'm going to show it afterwards in the YouTube channel, but you can download, well, this is first of all one of the things you have to enable in your phone, basically to be able to see some more options when you're connecting it to the computer. Then in order to visualize it from your computer, you need the Adb setup. It also comes if you have already the Android Studio and you download it. If you don't have it yet, you may download the Adb zip file. So what we're going to do is you open the command window there. In my case it's already in the global bars, so I can access from anywhere to my Adb. So let's open the terminal, CMD, or you can also click Windows plus R. So you're going to open this, then you type CMD, and that's it. Before we continue, we are going to connect our phone and then connect it with the USB cable to the computer. Here it is. I have just connected my phone. Yeah, I have to make a cleanup because it's about to collapse. My phone is completely full, but that's another topic. So now that my phone is connected, it's very important this point or it won't work, because you have to start the Adb. So we type Adb Devices. It starts and it shows daemon was not running, starting at new port. So now this is the ID of my device. What can we do with that? That means you can already see, if you go to new tab, Chrome /inspect, but I have it open here already. It shows my tabs, the tabs I have open in my phone. I have open one tab, which is basically a YouTube video, and Untitled, which basically means nothing. And let's just try opening from my phone a Google. Now, as you can see, it shows it here. If I click on inspect, great. So here we see the Google tab that I had open. I could type whatever, but yeah, I would be able to interact, such as clicking buttons, whatever, and the same is happening on my phone. So what can we do with that? Well, we have the console here, which we are going to see later, but as you can see, it's very easy to connect your phone and start debugging from here already. So we go back and we go to the next point. So as we can see, we can already debug our Android web from Google Chrome in Windows. That's not everything, because now we're doing it with the cable, and I want to do it without any cable. So I'm going to get my local IP address from my phone, from my Android device. I go to settings, about phone, and then there in status I can see my IP address. Well, this is going to work if we are using the same Wi-Fi. So in this case, after knowing the IP address, I'm going to type adb tcpip, and then I'm going to write a random port, like it could be, for instance, 5555. Then I start, and then it's just about connecting to the phone through ADB Connect. I type the IP address from my phone. This is the IP address from my phone. Okay, and then 2 points, 2 dots, the port number, which is 5555. Perfect. Now I can see in Adb Devices that I have also my device. It's the same device, but instead of the ID, which is the USB cable, it's with the IP. Then I'm going to disconnect the cable of the phone. I'm going back to Adb Devices, and voila, here it is. I see still my device. So we are going to test now if it's still working. Okay, we are going to inspect again Google tab. As we can see, it's open here, and I'm going to open just a website, mine for instance, and see if it works. As we expected, it's indeed working. I can scroll, and I'm just seeing my projects, which basically means it's working. I can also test from my computer. It's simulating the clicks, and everything is working fine. First point is covered already. Then let's start the local server in Google Chrome, but in our computer, and then connect from Android. So how are we going to do that? So we are going to download this add-on for Chrome. It's very light and cool add-on. So we open it, and I have it installed already, so I have to start application. But for future cases, you don't need to explore the add-on itself. You can type it here in Windows and open it. In this case, I'm just going to open it from here. Now what we have to do basically is to take a look at the default parameters. We need to choose a folder where is going to be our server. In my case, I have this folder with a bunch of files, HTML files with some JavaScript for augmented reality, and I'm going to show that in another tutorial, but we will also use this one for an example at the end of this one. So how it works? Well, I chose this folder. Now if I want to connect from my phone, I will have to do it with the cable, because I have to enable the connection from the computer to the phone and not from the phone to the computer. So I'm going to open again my phone. I'm going to connect the cable, and we are perfectly connected already. Then first of all, I'm going to test that the server is working. So let's open this one. For instance, I can see some files here, but this is not what I wanted to show. What I basically wanted to show is, for instance, let's test this one. It's a web application. It's a 3.js example, but we say we are running it in our local browser because this is my current local IP. Then instead of this one, this is the example we are going to follow. So in this case, I'm going to open this one, and it's going to ask me for the camera, because I'm in the desktop computer and I'm not having any camera. Well, we know the website is working, and we are going to use it from the phone. Let's go first here. So we have this one here, which is the IP address, and then I have this one here, which basically is the cable one. For this one, I have enabled a port. I'm going to explain that in a few seconds, but let's just give it a try from the phone. So let's go to Inspect Google, and let's just for a second go here and back to the inspector. Great, let's just open that a bit more, and I'm going to type this address. You can't see it in the phone because I'm loading it right now, but it's just stuck. It's there loading forever, and it means it can't be connected. Why is that? Well, actually it can be connected, but you need to make a little tweak, a little fix, which we are going to do actually right now. I'm just going to prove it also from this side. 0.1.128 2.8887. The website is not working. Let's just type it as well. car.html, and it ain't working. So when I update, it just goes back. Why it doesn't work? Well, we have to do one more step, which is basically port forwarding. Yep, this is a very easy step. You click here, enable port forwarding, and you just type any random port. This is the port from which the phone is going to connect, and after this port you're going to redirect the phone to this localhost 2.8887, which is actually our website. This is also localhost. As you can see, same error, same website. Localhost is equal to the IP that I had written before. So once we type this little trick here, I can go back to this tab. Then this time I'm going to go again. I'm going to type 1.2, 1.6, 128, 2 dots, but this time I'm going to type this port because it's the redirecting port. Fake cars.html. Okay, it's not working. One more thing that we forgot to do, which is basically Adb Devices. Okay, there is not such device. Let's just disconnect everything. Let's just Adb Devices, and we still have this one because it's the cable, so obviously it's not going to get disconnected. We're going to give it another try, and still it's not working with this IP. Why is not? Well, let's just try typing here localhost. I'm going to try it from the phone, and now it just tells me that it can't find localhost 500, well, this HTML, because I misspelled basically it's fake car. And we see here finally the car. Let's just put back the phone. Here we can see also all the errors that we can see, that we can find. It's giving me all the instructions and all the warnings, everything. I can see everything from the phone, which is very cool. But that's not everything. So what else is left? Well, this is cool, we can debug from the phone, but what if we want to debug from our own computer? We don't have a camera, which is my case, and we want to be able to make changes, save the document, and instantly testing it, which is what we're gonna do right now. So this was showing us an error. Let's see why it's showing as an error. So we go here, and we are going to see that the document, it's trying to find probably a camera at some point, like for instance in start augmented reality, it's trying to find a webcam. So what we're gonna do is comment these lines out here, not anymore start augmented reality, because we are in the computer. But what's the problem? To our surprise, it didn't change anything. I mean, of course we're not getting the error message, but it's not enough because we are not seeing anything. So what we're gonna do is actually type a bar called debug, and we're gonna put it to true. So debug means we are in the computer. So we're going to start putting the things that are dependent to the phone as debug mode. So for instance here, if I'm not in debug mode, do init AR. But that's not solving anything, as we have seen before. All the problem could be, for instance, the camera. We are not specifying if it's what kind of camera is it. So we're going to define another camera if we are in debug mode. So if we are in debug mode, we are going to type that here, and we are going to say that camera is the new camera, well, basically the new 3.perspective camera. And I'm going to go here 70, the field of view, then window, inner width divided by window inner height. Then we to save the z, the near, and the Z file. Then we set the camera position to 0, 21.1, 25.5 for instance. Then we make the camera look at the center. Usually by default it's already looking at the center, but we just want to make sure. I'm not really sure about if it's capital or it's not capital letters, so let's just try it like that. 0, 0, 0, and perfect. Voila. I'm going to save the document and give it another try. It's not working, it's not changing anything. We just forgot to say the else camera, otherwise it's going to be overwritten. Okay, it might not be working. This is the same we would see in a phone, if you are debugging from Android phone. It says debug is not defined. So let's go here, and basically, exactly, indeed, it says it's not defined because it was not defined. I typed it here in capital letters and I want it in little letters. So again, we're going to go to console. We found another problem. Okay, in animate. So let's just go straight there, because we see that's supposing a problem. So basically we go here to animate and we type what's the problem. The problem is here with the ARToolkit. So I'm going to first confirm that I'm in debug mode. If I'm not in debug mode, I'm going to go through this process here. Basically, back. Perfect. Let's give it another try. It shouldn't be triggering any error anymore, which is good, but still it's not showing anything in the scene. Why it's not showing anything in the scene? Well, we have this point here, the renderer. Set clear color and we're rendering it in transparency, but we need to render it. Let's try with that, with 1. Great! At least now we see a background. At least it means the background is seen. But we have a little problem here, because I don't want to be switching all the time from 0 to 1. So I'm going to put a bar here. If the bar is positive, I'm going to put 1. Otherwise, I'm going to put 0. What does it mean? It's a if. It's same than doing if debug 0, else 1. The other way around, sorry. 1 and 0. It's doing the same effect, but I'm putting it inside a function, so it's inline and it's much more neat. Let's give it a try. Let's see if it's indeed working, and we have the same result, which means everything is working fine. So let's go to see why it's not working yet. We don't know yet, but it might be, for instance, here. Okay, this is a little trick that we are doing to not show the scene until the marker in augmented reality is seen. But in this case we are not using augmented reality, so we are going to do the same. If not debug, then we hide the scene until the marker is actually seen. We are going to leave the scene always visible. We go back here and we see that the car is actually working in already. We're going to shrink that window a bit because we are not still resizing anything. Why are we not resizing anything? Well, this is also another point which we are going to solve right now. For instance, let's go here on Windows size. Well, we see here we are using this ARToolkit, which is not correct for Windows. If we're going to put again this check in here. So, but this check is not going to solve anything. So that's why we are going to use another trick for Windows. For that, we are going to use camera dot, let's just go back here, dot aspect, and we're going to say that the aspect is actually window dot inner width here divided by window inner height. Let's just go one more line, camera update projection. I think it's like that, projection matrix, so we can update the view of the camera. Just one more, but we are going to set the size of the new window, which is basically window dot inner width comma window inner height. Perfect. Now it should work a bit different. Let's give it another try. Let's hope that it's not breaking. Yep, indeed it's breaking. Renderer. Going to save again. Give it another try. And as we can see, now it's actually resizing the window. Now we are almost, well, we can say we are done, so we can easily switch and debug either on the phone, because let's see how it would look in the phone now. I'm going back to inspect, and it's going to appear here right now. And what we can see here in the phone, that it's actually not working as we would like to show it. The car is just appearing there, but it's not reading any marker. Why is that? Well, because we had it in debug mode. But let's see how easy and quick we can switch back. We are not debugging anymore. Typing with my hand is a bit tricky. I'm going to update the website, and voila, here it is. Now just slightly different. It's all working now. So I think with that we can wrap up the tutorial. We have covered the 3 points that we wanted to cover for now. In the next tutorials I'm going to explain how I made actually this car augmented reality application, and also some little tricks that I made mixing it with reality, jumping the car for instance, and some other stuff. So thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Please don't forget to subscribe if you want to watch new tutorials. Very cool ones are waiting for you. So see you in next videos, and thank you for watching.